If you're feeling stuck in what feels like the longest season of your entire life, then this episode is for you. Last week I talked about the power of walking through the 13 weeks of a season with intention, the power of this 90-day cycle when we think about where we want to be at the end of a season and kind of map out a path to do that. And so this week, we're walking in the first week of July. And so I was planning on talking about a mid-year check-in, but I changed my mind. And I changed my mind because I see you and I hear you. And I know that a lot of you feel stuck. When you hear somebody talking about intentions and goals and where they want to be at the end of a season, you feel a little triggered because you are just trying to survive and hoping to make it through the next 90 days. And I get that. So I want to speak to that today. And if that's you, I get it. I get being in the middle of a season that feels so hard. And when you look ahead to the next season, you don't see any end to the hard that you're feeling. And that can cause you to lose hope. And that's what I want to speak to today, because I believe that the God of the universe, the God that created you, is the author of hope and peace. And looking back in the hard seasons that I've walked through, the seasons that I prayed, that I desperately prayed for God to change my circumstances. You know what the gift I found in those seasons ended up being? The gift wasn't that God changed my circumstances, but that God changed me. And that's not what I was looking for, and that's not what I was praying for, and that's not what I hoped for. But what I want to convey to you is that has been the biggest gift of my life. The gift that the God that loves me, the God that knows me better than I know myself. So the things that I was praying for and asking for, He knew that for me to stand in the power and the fullness and the wholeness of all that He designed and created me to be, that I needed to open up my hearts and hands and see beyond what I could see with my eyes and the circumstances that I so desperately wanted to change. But instead of the circumstances changing, allow myself to be changed and to become whole in the midst of it and in spite of. And you might hear that and think, that sounds great. and let me tell you, I've been there. I've been there when the scriptures that gave me hope felt lifeless. And I get that you might hear that, and that might not be what you want to hear. That you want to hear there's hope that your circumstances will change tomorrow. And you know what? They can. They can. But here is the more beautiful thing, that you change if nothing else changes around you. And so I'm going to keep this short because I want you to listen to the whole thing and I want you to get it. And if you need to listen to this again, listen to it again. You have a God that loves you. And just because your circumstances in life maybe have changed and you don't understand why, and you don't see brighter days ahead, I want today to encourage you and to stir up that hope, because God has not forgotten about you. You have plans and purposes despite what is going around you. You have plans and purposes through and in the midst of what is going on in your life. And the gift that I want you to look for is, where is God showing up in your story right now, in the middle of your season, right now, the season that you're in this moment, not the one you want to be in, but the one you're in, where your feet are planted right now, because that's where your God is. Your God is present right now in the moment that you're in. God right there with you means that perfect peace and perfect love is available to you right now in this moment. So that's my prayer for you today, that no matter where you find yourself today, I pray that hope is renewed in your heart. Whether you feel it or not, let that be your prayer today. God, stir up the hope in my life. Let me see you. Let me see where you're at work in my life, because I can assure you, friend, your God is always at work. I love you, and we'll talk soon.